Hello, I'm Fiona Humberstone, the brand stylist, and I am absolutely passionate about empowering entrepreneurs to create incredible brands. Now, it's January, it's that time of year when most of us indulge in a bit of brand housekeeping, and if, like me, you have updated my media kit on your to-do list, then this video is going to be perfect for you. Now, let's start by talking about what on earth is a media kit. It's a bit of a misnomer really in terms of the words, but effectively what we're talking about is a PDF that outlines your sales and your services and your pricing, and is something that you can use as a part of your sales process to move people further along. So I tend to use mine to massively streamline my sales process. What a media kit does for me is answers that question of, I'd like to work with you, how much do you charge? But rather than just emailing back with a price, I can showcase the value in what I do. I can build a sense of trust. I can take my clients on a journey. It's super quick for me to send out. You know, it doesn't mean that I need to spend an hour answering every email. I can just send something over, but it's really beautifully constructed, and what it does for me is makes that process really efficient. So saves time, makes it really clear in terms of what I'm offering, builds trust, creates desire, builds confidence, and also, and I think this is a really key thing, it paces the reader. Now, I'm going to go back to my notes here because I've made gazillions and I don't want to miss anything. So the first thing to think about really is, why is this information not on my website, or why shouldn't it be on your website? I choose not to put the pricing or the detailed information that you'll find in a media kit on my website. And the main reason for that is that's not how people tend to buy. So people don't tend to buy consultancy services like mine straight off a website. They want some kind of interaction. They want to feel heard. They want more information. They don't just make a snap decision like that. So having a media kit or a brochure that you can email out means that when people email you asking for more information, you can do that. It also allows you to manage who sees your pricing and how. And the how, for me, is the most important thing. When it's all on your website, it's very difficult to pace people. It's very difficult to make sure that they've seen that information, because most people just skim to the bottom of the page for the price. When you put it in a PDF with lots of images and you break everything down across multiple pages, what you can do is create a sense of space. You can encourage people to slow down. You get to manage how they view that information, and you can build a sense of value, and that's really important. It makes sure that your information is seen in the right way and digested as well, and I think it's a better format. A website can seem quite throwaway, particularly for something like a consultancy service. It's so easy to overlook things, to lose things. It can be quite overwhelming. Those of us that sell quite comprehensive consultancy services, you need to break that down, you need to explain it, and a bulleted list on your website is not the best way to do that. So, a brilliant media kit allows you to showcase your work and structure your communication in a way that really helps you sell what you're doing. And it takes your clients on a journey that you're in charge of. So, how many media kits do you need? You might have one, or you might have several. So let's say you're a brand stylist. You're probably just going to have one media kit for your brand styling offering, and you might have multiple packages, but ultimately the service is probably the same. And then you might have one for website design, for example. If you offer brand strategy, that might be another one. Or you might put all three in the same place. In terms of how many do you need, I think you need to think about who is buying each service and what is the best way of you delivering that information. So how much information do you need to get across? What's going to make it most digestible. You don't necessarily want a 50-page PDF, but actually my consultancy services brochure is 36 pages because that's what it takes to tell that story. So don't worry too much about number of pages if the information inside is digestible and beautiful and cleverly broken down. You need to think about the decision-making process that your clients are going to go on. What information do they need in one place, and would it be better separated out? And like I say, most of all, what is the best format for your message? I think you need to think about, what am I offering? What do I want people to know, think and do when they see this media kit? What feedback have I had in the past? So if I've not won a project that I thought I should, what did people not see? What did they not get about my services? Why did they think, for example, that they were too expensive? Or what did they think was missing? And how can I make sure that I mitigate that and answer those points? I think it's worth bearing in mind that a media kit is here to streamline your sales process. So you're not going to convert every single person, and nor should you, because if you do, you're probably too cheap. But what it will do is explain why you're worth what you are. The other thing to think about is, what expectations do you need to manage? So what assumptions are made? I can remember when we first started designing websites for my agency back in 2006, and I think we were charging something ridiculous like £500 to build this website. And I remember a client being really upset that we hadn't SEO'd her site and we hadn't written the copy for it and we hadn't taken the photographs. And you know, in hindsight, well, what did you expect for £500? You know, how can someone possibly do that? But think about the common assumptions that are made around what you do. For example, if you're a brand stylist, are the cost of the business cards, the printing included, that kind of thing. So once you've got a sense of what your media kit needs to include, I think it's worth thinking about the principles. So the principles of a great media kit are, first of all, you need to pace your clients. So it's not about one page, it's about separating that information out, breaking it up with lots of images. And what images do are create breathing space, they elevate the whole thing. And they're really good at illustrating a point. Make it about them, not you. So if you are going to include a bio, which you should, it needs to go at the end of your media kit, not at the beginning. Talk to your clients about their issue, their business, the opportunities that they're facing and how you can help them. So think about it in terms of their business rather than yours. So suggested pages, I would start with an introduction, and as I say, write it from your client's point of view. You might want to outline your services and then the detail of what's included, the investment, case studies for sure. FAQs are your secret weapon. FAQs are a brilliant way of managing expectations, and you'll see them all over my website. And finally, what next? So what do people do if they want to work with you? Design it beautifully. Now, you do not need a design package to design something beautifully. What you need is to understand the principles behind what makes great design. And I will put a blog post up of just one thing you can do. Design for Go-Getters covers this in loads of detail, but if you just do one thing, I want you to think about bringing in the margins and creating more space around your design. Create a PDF so that your media kit is seen in the way that your clients, or the way that you planned it to be. And finally, don't put it on your website. So keep it as something that you can email out, giving people more information. So that's my quick overview of media kits. They are phenomenally useful, and I hope that you found this video helpful.